Hey, what's up, y'all? This is former NASCAR driver Bill Lester, and you're listening to Victory Lane Vibes.
He's gonna do it! Bubba Wallace wins in Kansas! What they gonna say now, baby?
This is NASCAR's Chief Hype Officer, Mamba Smith, and you're listening to Victory Lane Vibes. Let's go.
Lewis Hamilton wins the Turkish Grand Prix and is a 7-time champion of the world!
Hey everyone, I'm NASCAR driver Natalie Decker, and you're listening to Victory Lane Vibes.
Welcome to another episode of Victory Lane Vibes. We are your hostesses with the mostesses. It's Jared, it's Art, it's Carl, it's Jer. We are here after Michigan. First, just wanted to open the show, and just pass our condolences to the Jarrett family. That Jared passed away this week. Just wanted to thoughts and prayers to Dale and everybody affected by that. Ned was one of the announcers that brought me up as a youngin'. So I think Art had pointed it out, and the group chat is kind of a solemn note that his broadcast team are all together again, the racetrack in the sky. So I just wanted to start off the show with our condolences towards them, and we can move on to a more happier note. Was there anything else anybody want to touch on, Ned, Jared, or add to that tidbit, or keep pressing, keep moving? Art's staring at me, rubbing his chin. I don't know what that means.
I'm just keep pushing.
There wasn't any breaking news or current events or anything that got announced this week outside of that, I don't think. Oh yes, there was. So there was a press conference that was scheduled by RCR for this weekend in Michigan. And then we lost Kyle, and then Richard held the press conference and said, yeah, we had to sign him up again to come back next year. And I was like, damn. So we would have got our questions answered if he was going to hang it up and go to 2311. He was going to ride it out and stick with RCR for another couple of years. So it was cool that they still, I guess, made the announcement. Austin Hill, you got work to do, bro. You can't just loaf around in that car, big dog. I feel like you got bigger shoes to fill when they announced that, yeah, this weren't going to be your car next year or the year after anyway. So you gotta hit the gym or something, big dog. You gotta find some speed. He ran all right yesterday until he got smacked, but that wasn't his fault. That was a malfeasance by said the kid. We'll save that for later. Let's have a show. Cletus qualified on the pole, and ARCA, and then his boy Mr. McNutt outran him in the race. What, talk about a dynamic duo. That's a crazy combination, man. Squirrel McNutt and Cletus McFarland, bro. That's some wild stage names. I feel like Channing Tatum should be happy that he landed on Magic Mike, because
yikes, man.
That's
They're doing their job. We're talking about them.
they're doing their job. I mean, shout out to Cletus, I guess.
At least he's like doing something. Like he's not just going out there and bending it, like just completely wrecking it every weekend.
He's found throttle control, whereas I feel like in the ARCA cars you run wide open anyway. So it's not that much you can mess up. While we're speaking on ARCA, shout out Destiny. She had her best finish, finishing 13th. She probably could have got a little more had the rain not got in the way and ended the race early. So just wanted to give her a big shout out. And another shout out to Fox Tekka. Destiny's running in Pocono this weekend, and they have a Juneteenth car for the first time, I feel like, in the history of motorsports outside of the things that we do in iRacing. It's a Juneteenth car. And I need Lionel to grab their earbuds, listen to this episode, and make me a diecast. I'm asking nicely once. Your assistance in this matter is greatly appreciated. I don't know. It's always weird watching ARCA races and they stop like every 30 laps. I'm like, why are they doing that? It's like, oh, they get a break. They have to stop the cars and get water bottles, and I just think it's kind of cute little race, and you have built-in recess periods. It's real cute. Anybody else have you want to add anything to the ARCA race or the ARCA shenanigans from the weekend?
I think we should leave it at that. Just it's real cute.
It's real cute, real cute, real cute. The truck race was a barn burner though. That was a fun race. I didn't realize that Corey was in it until he took the lead. And I was like, oh, Corey's here. Oh, this should be interesting. And thankfully he beat the very, very, very cheated up truck of Lane Riggs. I think I said it last week. Like Ford has invested their money into Front Row's truck program, and I know the adage is if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But brother, you gotta try and find some tolerances here before you leave the race shop, big dog. That truck was ultra cheated up, but they had to chop, cut, and rebuild and take whatever they had it skewed out. Sort of like Carl's video that he posted over the weekend. But yeah, Corey Heim time wins again in Michigan. Art, what did you feel about the truck race?
I thought it was all right. I think the biggest thing for me was seeing Corey come back and beat the truck that he dominated in for the last year and a half. Right? I think that's kind of cool. That like, no matter how talented someone is, you sometimes kind of wonder, right, is it the car that much better than everyone else, or is it the driver? And I mean, he won that pretty cleanly. It was a pretty dicey battle there at the end. But seeing Corey win was pretty nice. I mean, on the whole, I really didn't have a ton of notes for this race. There were parts. It's interesting. You said that you thought it was a barn burner. There were long stretches where I felt like it was white noise for me. Like it kind of felt like they were just riding around for a while. So, I don't know. I respect your opinion, but there was a lot of this race where I was like, man, if I wasn't going to come on here and listen to other people talk about it, I would not be watching this. But yeah, I like that. Carson made it interesting as well. And to your point about Lane Riggs, like those were the big stars. Christopher Bell had a really good truck as well, I think, until what did he have, like some pit road issues, I think, or something. And that was just the start of his terrible, awful, no good, very bad weekend, which we'll get to here in a second. But I mean, yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is just cool to see Corey get a dub and, you know, continue to keep some momentum on his side. Obviously, he got the full-time ride we talked about here the other week, and he's just continuing to validate that decision. So I like that part of it. I like the you know, they got pretty racy there at the end in the last stage, but I don't know, man. This truck series, at some of these places, this just feels like it's hit or miss, and for me, it was a bit of a miss. But, you know, it was all right, though.
Carl?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't even remember where I was at. I didn't get a chance to watch the truck race. So I mean,
I like when we're honest about things on this show.
I genuinely kept checking because I was waiting on cup practice, and then I saw that there was a truck race, and then I was like, oh, okay, well, Corey Heim won. Of course he did. So there was that. Yeah, I mean, you know, I hate it for Caden Honeycutt, but I mean, hey, what's the guy supposed to do? I mean, you know, I guess now that he knows his future, I guess he ain't got to go out and win every time, but it's just not in his blood not to, I guess. So, yeah, it is what it is.
I guess, Jared, I can ask you that question. Do you feel like Caden Honeycutt was bitching that he's not as good, or do you feel like he should have been raced as hard by?
What did he say exactly? I never found the quote.
I've never found the quote too, but he said something slick, and Corey responded back to him, and even in a slicker way. Basically told him, shut up and quit bitching. It's crazy.
Huh. I don't know. I mean, Honeycutt raced him hard. I didn't think any of the racing was like, I didn't see anything there that shouldn't have been done, I guess. I don't know. Like he tried his best and it just didn't work out. Like it is what it is. Like I think unfortunately, like they're both there to prove something, and Heim just proved a little better this weekend. Like he, I think even there at the end, I wasn't 100% certain if Heim had actually won. It did, because the broadcast angle, it did kind of look like Honeycutt got him. And the broadcast even like kind of hesitated a little bit as they were calling it to see if it was Heim or not. So I don't know. That's interesting though. I didn't hear about the little tiff.
It was odd. It happened like I think Corey. He didn't throw a dirty block, but Corey rightfully so predicted his position and like came down on him in 3. and I guess Honeycutt had to check up, and then like you could see it it almost looked like Caden was getting ready to wreck Corey to win because he like got right on his bumper and like he swerved at the absolute last second, and I thought he was gonna hit Corey into the fence so he can win the race, but that didn't end up happening.
I found a quote it says, quote, "I was there, so yeah, thank God it was a company truck. I definitely wouldn't have lifted in that situation. It just sucks. I felt like I've given so many away this year, and I think that's what's angering me the most for sure. Just unfortunate."
I mean, maybe I need to watch it again, but I didn't really see anything there that was like bad, I guess, from Corey there. I don't know. I
think it's just the block at the end, but like
it's just the block, and he was just upset he didn't lay over for him, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I think in the moment, I think Caden was just more upset with like being that close to getting another one, you know, and you know, because the only thing that moves your stock these days as a driver that's on the Cup Series is the win, and then like, you know, lo and behold, the guy that has a ride for next year, has a cup deal, has all this stuff, is the guy that beat you at the very at the buzzer. So I mean, I'm sure that's probably part of it. So
that makes sense. I guess like from my perspective, like Heim was ahead the whole time. Like if anyone, I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with what happened there, but I understand in the heat of the moment why Honeycutt, and to Carl, to your point, like Honeycutt probably felt like he needed the win more in that moment. And he might be right. Like, but I mean, that's kind of just how it goes, I guess. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, high emotions make sense though, but
no.
I don't know. I think what's interesting too is like, I don't know that I think Heim and Hocevar swapped positions because they were trying to get debris off of Hocevar's grill. So I wonder if that kind of goes into it too, where maybe Honeycutt knew that and felt like Heim had been gifted that position. Because Hocevar never really like gains it back. The debris never came off the grill. Like he just he lost that position and then he lost that position. So maybe that has something to do with it too.
Sounds like you didn't bring your breast, Caden. Try it next week. I don't know what you want from us. You can't. The man doesn't have a ride, and he has to do whatever he has to do on the weeks his cell phone rings. Like, hey, you want to jump in the truck? I mean, honestly, we haven't heard anything about the sponsors or the backing that he's going to have next year for his cup car anyway. What's the best way to get money? Win races, collect trophies. I'm not mad at him. Shame on you, Caden Honeycutt. Drive faster. It's like, well, I guess that's one of the same. Michael McDowell bitching at Daniel Suarez because he raced him too hard. Tough titty.
Yeah, there's always going to be. It's always in the heat of the moment too. Like I'm sure a couple days later when the adrenaline's worn off a little bit and they've watched replays and really thought about it. Like I'm sure some of them probably rethink their comments. They'll never admit it, but like I'm sure a lot of that is just like heightened in the moment emotions.
It's like your foreshadowing. That's crazy.
Oh my God, almost.
Oh my goodness.
Something happened.
It's crazy. To that point, moving to yesterday's race, Denny Hamlin wins his 63rd Cup race, tying the late great Kyle Busch in Cup Series wins. My favorite part of yesterday's race, outside of the obvious, was the fact that Amazon just like didn't say shit while he did his post-race celebration. I think that's probably by far the coolest thing that any broadcast partner has done. Like obviously with everything that's going on, but just let him just rip it for like I swore like 15 minutes. It was awesome. Denny Hamlin wins his 63rd race. I think he goes back to back again, driving from the back to the front again, which is kind of crazy. 2 weeks in a row to accomplish that feat. But I knew his car was cheated up in practice yesterday, so I knew he was going to win. It's
everyone's cheated up this weekend.
You just kind of know, like the way he just methodically drove to pit road to not mess up the bottom of the car. I was like, yeah, you cheated. You did that shit on purpose. Some unapproved adjustment starting from the back. That's so you could get through post race without them asking any questions. But good race, fun race. Lots of accident damage and crash damage, which we'll get to in a second. What did we feel about the Cup race, Jared? I'll start with you.
It was a wreck fest for sure. I think towards like the second half of the second stage, there's a moment where I was like, oh God, this race might go on forever. But ultimately, like, I enjoyed it. Like, I thought overall it was an entertaining race. I did think it was interesting how many people just either like, I think 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 people who like wrecked themselves. Like they just had a tire go down or they just got loose. Unfortunately, Zilich was 2 of those. Just really, really unlucky weekend for him. I think I wasn't really following his races super closely the last few weeks, but I think somebody said that this is like the 3rd week in a row he hasn't finished a race. Just really, really horrible. I really feel for the kid. Like that's just like horrible luck, terrible situation to be in general. Like I'm sure no driver enjoys that happening, but then to have it 3 weeks in a row at his age, at his stage in the career, like I'm sure that's really eating at him. But I mean, there's always another shot next week. But overall, yeah, I enjoyed it. Do we get into the conversation around? Well, let me talk about Denny first. I'm very happy to see Denny win. I thought that let me get the positives before we get to the negatives. I think the tribute he did for Kyle afterwards was incredible. I love that they thought about that. That they were very saying the same thing twice, but they were very thoughtful in what they did there. I have seen a lot of people ask about, is this going to be for sale? I want to buy this. I want to buy the hat. I want to buy the flag. There's 3 licensing agreements involved there. I don't know if anybody, I know very little, but I know enough because of my job to know that sounds horrible. Sounds like a lot of work and honestly a lot of money. You have to pay each licensor. So it would probably cost the consumer an arm and a leg. And it would probably just, from my perspective, honestly, it would just open up a can of worms about them trying to profit off of the situation. Obviously, they could kind of mitigate that by donating the proceeds to the Bush family's charity. But at the end of the day, it would be a logistical nightmare for them to get a licensing agreement. If they do it, that's awesome. But ultimately, I kind of agree that they shouldn't sell that to the public. I think that's a really sweet, one-time tribute. It doesn't have to become a business venture. If they do decide to manufacture the hat and the flag, I will purchase them. Let me just say,
Absolutely, 100%.
I would buy them. The stylized numbers next to each other, I think, were fantastic. Really just, again, beautiful tribute. Prime going silent, that broadcast moment was, like Jarrett said, just a class act. That was fantastic. I can't think of a better way for them to have handled that moment than to just go silent and just kind of let everybody take it in. And I have to imagine with such a driver heavy broadcast, I have to imagine that a lot of the people in that booth were just kind of also taking it in and appreciating the moment for what it was. But I'm always happy to see Denny get another win. I think losing a teammate and friend aside, I think he's gone through a lot the past year and a half, and to see him really have this great season he's had so far, it just really, really makes me happy to see. But do we talk about Carson Hocevar now, or do we wait for everybody else to go? How do we want to handle that? Should I just stay with you now?
I got plenty to say about it. So
maybe just make him his own segment. How about that?
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. We'll give Carson his own stage.
Does he want attention so damn badly?
Well, we can give him attention. I'm tagging him too. The upset going up, I'm tagging him.
Man, actually, you know what? I'm going back. I'm reneging on that. I'm not saying nothing, bro, because I done seen these kids on social media today, going to folks with knives and daggers for even so much as suggesting that Carson should be a little different. I don't need that in my life. So you know what?
Them children.
All hell, Lord Hocevar, man. So that's just like that one Bowman fan that never mind.
Some of the worst tweets you'll ever see have a 48 profile pic.
No, I mean, it's just that one dude, and I told the boys the other day. I was just like, well, he is putting out some terrible tweets as if like he's not going to be having to learn live fast next year, dog. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like the writing's on the wall.
You
anyway,
say you're not an HMS fan, keep that same energy, bro. You got about 7 months in the saddle, brother. Listen, Thanksgiving gonna be cold and lonely, bro.
Yeah. Get ready to learn wood. Get ready to learn wood, brothers, my friend.
Oh no.
You have anything you want to add about your the Cup race, Carl?
I watched it. I watched about a good 2/3 of it. I managed to miss the. I tuned. It's so funny how things work out sometimes because we were driving back. I picked my girlfriend up, and we were driving back home to try to get her car, and I was like, I guarantee something stupid has happened by now. So I opened the stream back up, and lo and behold, what do I see but a bunch of cars at the front spinning and wrecking? I'm like, all right, okay, of course. And all I'm really looking for is to make sure the 23 was okay, and I couldn't ascertain that or not. And that was like the third week in a row I had a very visceral reaction to that, and Katie's girlfriend was not amused, but I mean, I thought it was all right. I thought it was okay. I mean, to me, it just reminded me of Michigan of old, right? I mean, early discussions of fuel saving, I mean, like I said, power made the difference and all that good stuff. I mean, to me, it seemed fine. I mean, guys could race each other, could get beside each other. I had no problem with it. Like I said, I kind of wish the outcome would have been a little different. I don't know. I mean, what in the hell happened for Hamlin to come from the rear to win by like 11 seconds? I guess cheated up. Yeah, I mean, look, man, I really hate, the narrative around him and Tyler and the Toyotas and stuff this year because, it's like I said yesterday, I was like all the fans that have a 24 or a 9 or a 5 on their hat are suddenly crying about dominance and cheating, and it's like we've been sitting through the same thing for like the last decade from y'all's end, so it's y'all's turn now. But at the same time, I'm just like, come on, man, please, don't say that. But anyway, no, it was a good race. It was fine. I mean, all things considered. So, I was happy to see, Eric and the 43 and the 23 in the top 3 or 4 there. That was really cool. So, yeah, I mean, that's about it. And the thing for Kyle Busch at the end too. Also, I didn't see any of that, so I saw it like well after it had happened. But as somebody that's still processing that deal and Kyle's death and everything and how hard that's been the last couple of weeks and all that stuff, that I was I have never celebrated a Denny Hamlin win ever. I've never shared a picture, because I take it or leave it. And like right now, like I mean, that picture's of my wallpaper on everything right now. So,
when he said in his post-race interview that he had that plan Monday to design the logo because he had a feeling he was going to win, no, he stole that shit. So, watch you, Denny. Or would you feel about the Cup race?
Yeah, so I will start by being the cold water for everyone and tell them that he said post-race they are not going to be selling anything with that logo. It's a one-off, only for employees type thing. So unless you want to go get a bootleg, which exists out there in the world, I'm sure.
I've been in contact with some print shops the last couple of weeks. I'm not even lying to you. I'm trying to get something printed up for the back of the pickup. So, I mean, look, I know how to. I have GIMP. I have a photo editor. We can make whatever happen. I ain't got to buy it at the Visual Channels, and I already wrote Bundle of Joy a check anyway. So look, my bases are covered. I'm absolved of any sins I might commit in the future regarding copyright.
Listen, you might be absolved of any sins, but you are not absolved of copyright lawsuits.
I know. So. I signed a check to Bundle of Joy the day after it happened. Whatever happens next, I can't be held accountable.
Would you think that just gives you a free pass?
A little bit, yeah. I think.
I said I gave him $25. What more do you want?
No, it was more than that.
I know.
Yeah, it was part of the Mexico fund, but it's whatever. So
yeah. So anyway, I liked this race as well. I think it's probably gonna be a clean sweep here. I thought it was a pretty good race. Maybe not quite as good as Nashville. I feel like Nashville was a bit easier just to pass and make moves, but I did like this race a lot. I'm not trying to poo-poo and be negative on it. I did like the drafting of it. I like the strategy of it. There was still a lot of pass. There was still some passing. I don't want to be a hypocrite. And there was a high dose of calamity. I don't remember Michigan being that wrecky, but golly, boy, they were wrecking the fuck out of each other in this race. I mean, between our weekend spotlight character we'll get to in a second, the 18-9 wreck, like, I mean, these are some vicious hits these boys are taking out here. Like I don't remember. I guess that they are going 200 miles an hour. It's one of the few places. Because, NASCAR always loves to say, like, oh, we go 200 miles an hour. And I'm like, well, bro, you only go like 200, like 3 weeks out of the year. Like, I feel like they don't get that fast anymore. And this is one of those few places they actually can. And
they were
yeah. And so I think that helped keep the race a bit chaotic. I talked about this again last week where one thing I love about old races is that kind of the ticking time bomb of like, something going wrong, like a mechanical failure, a flat tire, right? There's like some kind of agent of chaos that's potentially lurking, some monster in the closet potentially waiting to reach up and grab you. And they had that in spades this weekend. Like I said, they were wrecking the hell out of each other. But, I am happy for Denny that he could have this moment. I think this is a really poignant moment for him and for that team. It's been mentioned that him and Kyle were the longest pairing of teammates in NASCAR history, longer than Jeff and Jimmy, longer than anyone else you can think of. Like, they were week in and week out. I think it's 570 something races or something.
538 races.
So I do like that for him. I'm not happy with Denny winning under any other circumstances, and I will go back to rooting against him having any wins after now that this week is over, that this moment is over. But for the moment, I do think it was very beautiful and really well done. And to Jared's point, very classy by Prime and how they handled it. But yeah, I really like this race a lot. It's one of those races where it's hard to get a feel for it. You had cars like Bubba that were, running in the top 5, top 10. Something happened, they fade back a little bit and they come back, and you kind of had Denny marching through the field all throughout until stage 3, and then suddenly just turning on the jets and just crushing it at the end. 11-second win, like that doesn't happen. So that was cool to see. I'm really happy for Bubba to have a good points day. Lord knows he needs it, and I tweeted out Bubba Wallace June is on, and it started off on a good note. And that helped him a lot in the points. I guess we're going to talk about the points here in a minute, but yeah, it's just a really encouraging weekend for him, which always helps, right? And I'm watching those laps clicked out, and I just remember thinking, man, if they had a green, white, checkered, he might have had something. He's in P3, like, he might have had something for him, because that car was, for all the damage and the splitter damage they had, that thing was spicy for a good 2 or 3 laps. And Denny's car didn't take off that great. So that's one of those. Peyton was here. He'd tell me, don't think about the what ifs, but this is when I'll think, man, if he was starting row 2 on a green, white, checker, that might have been
blouses.
That might have been one. Yeah. But, like I said, we'll take a P3 and some stage points. And the other point, too, it's not just that he finished well, but a lot of the people that are relevant to him suffered, which is another key thing, right? Like, if you're chasing somebody in the points, like, if they're finishing one spot behind you, like, you're not making up any ground. But, 24 faded really badly at the end. 20 had trouble. A lot of cats had really rough days that helped him. SVG didn't have a great day. The 6 had a DNF, I think. So, that helps him a lot, big picture. And I mean, 8th place in the points, maybe 7th, I think, is the highest he can get to at this point, like best case scenario, unless he somehow starts rattling off some wins. But I think with a little luck, that's a possibility, right? He's at minus 291. Hocevar is 7th at minus 241. So like 50 points. Like I think that's doable, honestly. Like it takes some luck, but I'm just very happy for him to get a rebound and get the finish they kind of deserve after, again, like a miserable 4 to 6 weeks. So I'm happy with the race. I feel like Michigan definitely kind of deserves 2 dates, I feel like, right? I think this is a race where like you feel like this track is good enough to have 2 dates at this point. Would y'all agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please,
Okay.
yes, please.
Because it's interesting where it's like it's a mile and a half, and we have a million mile and a halves on the schedule still, but it's unique just in the sense of the speed, in terms of the spacing of it, the width of the track, and the ability to get that fast and act a little bit like a drafting track. Like it's like I don't want to say a not as good Atlanta, but it just gave me a little bit of the vibes of Atlanta without being quite as drafty, right? In the sense that like you still had to like maintain momentum. Sometimes you'd have to ride behind someone and get up to them to make a pass, but it wasn't as draft heavy as Atlanta. But it just, I don't know, those were the similar vibes I was picking for him up. But yeah, no, I like this race a lot. I was pretty happy with it overall.
Oh yes, Michigan is a 2-mile speedway. Just before we have ignorant people in our mentions for wrong reasons other than one I'm about to give them now. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to give them a reason. But I think 24 cars finished. Then the race was like the least amount of cars at this kind of track in the next gen era. All of Bubba's ops crashed yesterday. That was most of them. Carson's still breathing, but there was a lot of carnage yesterday. A lot of wrecked cars. I cheered when Tyler wrecked, personally. I just want to put that out there. Tyler Reddick earns his first DNF of the year. No. If Freddie and Bubba can do it on DBC, I can do it on my show. Because it's the truth. They cheered, I cheered. I'm cheering. Congratulations, Tyler. Welcome to the stink. Hope it happens to you next week, too.
The stank is still being 51 points over the field. I wish I had stank like that.
Do you want him to DNF next weekend so Denny can sail away with it?
Bubba runs really good at Pocono, and if Denny can also lose his brakes going into turn one, a la how the Toyotas to do sometimes. I'm just saying Bubba's race lasted 37 minutes last year, and I just want somebody else other than 23 to tell what that feels like for 2 weeks in a row. I'm just saying. Toyota has shown that they don't know how to bring brakes to places where you need them.
Connor Zillick is just crying in the corner somewhere, like about his really.
Connor wants to drive for 30 minutes. Like you talk about 37 laps, like 30
Connor
minutes.
Talking to SVG's crew chief right now, saying, "Brother, please give me the part number, and I'll make sure I won't tell nobody. Just give me the part number. I'll slide it in my car. Like I got you, bro. Like just let me get it." I mean, you can't say that you're a racing driver and be a fan of the sport and not cheer for your ops. And at this point in time, Tyler Reddick is an op. Until Bubba gets 3 stickers on his car this year, Tyler is an op. And I look forward to Bubba to continuing to outperform him this month. We're getting back to where it was in the beginning of the year. We're going back to last year. Tyler was like, I've won 5 times, but it's time for another one. You shouldn't have said that. Look what Karma did. You sit and wait to get you on your plane ride home.
You said a rising tide does not lift all boats. I want one boat, and I want the others at the bottom of the sea.
At this point, Riley and Bubba can carry the speed of airspeed, and Tyler can just stat pad until it's time for the playoffs.
Damn.
That's what I want.
Man, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, man. Riley, you know what? I'm gonna take that messiness and turn it into a positive, because Riley has actually been turned the wick up of the last couple of weeks.
That's what I'm saying.
I know now. No, that's not what you're saying, and I am not. I'm not co-signing anything that you were saying. I'm not co-signing. You are not associated with me.
Show.
You are not affiliated with me. What I am saying is that Riley has definitely found something that now maybe. Listen, when you're racing for a job, now that might be a good motivator for you to log on some extra hours in the sim. But he really has been running well, much higher than he has been last year. I am still really kind of bummed that I understand why he has to leave, and I'm not going to sit there and pretend like I'd make a different choice, but he just seems like such a good vibes guy, like in terms of how he fits in with the rest of the team, and like I know he's a young driver trying to get better, and he's clearly is getting better. But like, yes, you have to take a shot on the talent that is Corey Heim. But man, I just really wish he is like a perfect fourth car guy. I feel like, right? Like you don't have a ton of expectations for him, but like they can come in and help out and have a couple good runs and might be the one that tests the setup for later in the year or something like that. Like he just seems like he would just do all of that so well. I'm so bummed he will not be there next year.
So I can preface my previous tangent that I went on. Clearly, the three of you didn't listen to Door Bumper Cleared, and your spare time go and listen to that. Bubba and Riley were on that episode, and I have a lot of brotherly love for Riley after listening to Door Bumper Cleared. So I'm not going to spoil the episode, but you'll be agreeing with what I said come tomorrow after you listen.
He's just setting the man up. He's setting him up for failure.
Now we move over to Carson's Corner.
Carson's Corner.
In case you missed it, new segment, Carson's Corner. In case you missed it, Bubba and Carson had a nice heart-to-heart chat on the pit wall after the race, and Bubba basically told him, "You're too fast to be doing dumb shit. Stop it. Slow down. Stop trying to wreck everybody and everything, and you'll be able to put together better finishes and win more races because he's envious of the speed that he has, and everybody knows that he's fast. You just can't be a bull in a china shop. You got to learn some finesse with your speed." And it seemed as if Carson walked away like, "Oh yeah, maybe I'll take that." But after 2 weeks of him being a terrorist on social media, we're here now wondering, is he going to learn his lesson, or is Bubba actually going to have to execute the dump and run successfully here in a couple weeks? Carl, you go first.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I got a lot to say about it, but look, Carson's attitude, has been made, clear by, some comments that I think are kind of tasteless, when he's like, I ain't got to prove shit to nobody. And, I'm not a son of boy band, I'm here to make friends and things like that. And I mean, it's unfortunate that, Bubba's like, once again, like the messenger of like, if you would just, think a little bit, you wouldn't have these issues. You'd have multiple wins and things like that. Because I think, like, when you look at it, Carson is probably like the fastest Chevy driver out there. The results just don't come to show for it. And it seems like every week now. But the problem is that like you can't whip his ass because he's not going to learn his lesson. And he races like he has nothing to lose. So it's like, okay, even if you do wreck him or wall him, he's just gonna like do the same shit like the next week because that's just his mentality. So I don't know what it's gonna take for him to calm down, but honestly, I'm kind of sick of it because it's like every week with this dude. Every week it's and then these dumbass fans that are like, if gap car, absolutely not if gap car. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. Like, what are you talking about? He puts himself in these dumb situations all the time that more often than not ruin somebody else's day and not his own, and sometimes even his own day. And then afterwards, it's like, oh shucks. And because I think about all the time the 2020, I guess 4 Truck Series finale. When like I said,
when he wrecked Corey.
Yeah, when he wrecked Corey and Grant Anfinger or whatever, and like he put on that whole production about how he didn't mean to.
I can't believe it.
Like that. That showed who he was right there because it's like, no, until that very moment, you didn't even remotely think about the end result of that. And I don't know, man. I'm just kind of getting fed up, and I'm kind of getting fed up of the excuse of like, he his personality is different and the fans love him and things like that or whatever the case may be. And I'm, I don't know. So I'm just going to have to calm his ass down, and I don't know what it's going to take, but God, am I so sick of this, man. And
he's Dale Sr. reincarnated. They told you that. This is how Dale raced, allegedly.
Yeah. And like, and so I saw somebody else say, they used to get pissed off at Kyle Busch too. And it's like, there is some merit to that for sure. But it's like also like, even though Kyle Busch like did boneheaded things, he still won. He still ran clean races occasionally and still won. And I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take, and it drives me nuts. And then also, I just want to say this too, because I heard this comment on Sirius XM, which my employer has it in all their trucks. It's very nice. I heard somebody calling the Moody, and they were like, Carson Hocevar and Cletus and Farland were going to save NASCAR because they have personality X, Y, and Z. And that's such a fucking cop out, dude. Like, I get so tired of that explanation. Oh, they got personality. They're not stale. Like, brother, they all have personality. Y'all just get pissed off when they talk. I mean, like, I don't know what you like want them to say. Like, the guy that's won most popular driver is probably the blandest guy in the garage out of everybody. Like, I don't know what you want there. So, yeah, I don't know what it's going to take. But God, it's just and you kind of want to root for him, right? Because like he's got a lot of talent, and he's like one of the few guys that has not come out of the system of like millions of dollars being invested into this kid by parents or by family money and things like that. Although I think he has some connection to Ziegler Automotive. No, I guess not. I think that was Balicki's folks. So, which man, isn't that something to behold? And don't you feel bad if you're Josh Balicki, where like you pretty much funded this guy's career? But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it's just not normal, man. You know what I mean? Like at some point you have to understand, like, you catch more flies, I mean, with honey or whatever the case may be. And if you would just take 2 seconds to think and assess the situation, I mean, he would have been running there at the end yesterday. I mean, there's multiple times. So, I mean, like I said, it's just one of those deals. So, I don't know. And then, like I said, I like what I said earlier. Like, I hate that Bubba had to be the one that like sat him down and talked to him, because now everybody and their mom is showing that clip or whatever. And of course, the comments are what you would expect behind that. But he's not wrong. And I mean, and for Bubba to go and be like, "Look, you're faster than us. You would win more if you would just calm the fuck down." And Bubba didn't have a cop out. He didn't say he didn't like talk down on Carson's talent level at all. I mean, he was telling the truth. So I don't know. Like I said, I just mine. I'm just tired of it. So we'll see. I mean, I doubt anything comes of it, but we'll see. So yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys watched Carson's remarks on the broadcast afterwards, but like he seemed embarrassed by this one. Like it was a little less of a like, oh, I don't know what happened, and more of a like, no, that one surprised me, and I like he even said he understood what Bubba was saying to him, and he appreciated him coming to talk to him. Now, I'm not saying he's gonna like change overnight and think more in the moment, like, but I think he did take what Bubba said to him to heart yesterday. Like, I think his body language, the way he spoke about this after the race yesterday, was a little bit more like genuinely like, yeah, that was a problem. Like I shouldn't have done that. But also like in his defense, and I hate to be this person, y'all know I'm a fan of Carson, but like, unfortunately, like I do think that had this been another driver in another situation, I don't think we'd be talking about this at all. Not just that, I don't think we would like be making a big deal out of it. I don't think this would be a conversation. I think it would be a footnote to the race of like, yeah, that happened. Because like it's just a thing that happened. Like I don't really see it. He didn't like go in with any like malicious. This wasn't a Carson Hocevar moment where he like blatantly did something stupid or reckless. It was just, they checked up a little too far. He didn't react the way that he should have. He reacted late. He tried to go 3 wide is basically what he said was his intent, but he reacted late and he misread the situation. And so they wrecked. It's just unfortunate that he drove through it and was kind of clean there through it. Like, I think he cut some grass and had some damage, but like ultimately he drove through that and he was fine. I think because of what he has done in the past, I think there's like a really negative connotation to him when he's the catalyst or when he's in the mix there. But again, like, I really don't think that this was like as egregious a situation as everybody's making it out to be. And like, unfortunately, as like the Carson Hocevar fan, like I'm probably the one who people are just gonna be like, well, she's a fan. She doesn't like, she's not seeing this like realistically. Like, that's fine. I don't really care if that's like the perception here. Like, I am not saying that he's untouchable or that he did no wrong. Like, I think his past actions absolutely warranted the conversation Bubba had with him. Like, I mean, I do also hate that it had to be Bubba, but also like maybe it's better coming from Bubba in this moment because Bubba was able to go to him like very like candidly and also very calmly. He didn't just go to him and like shove him around and get pissed off at him like some of these other drivers might have done. Like he just straight up was like, "Hey man, look, like you need to do this, like you need to fix how you're acting. You need to stop being so like Carl said, bull in a china shop. Like you need to stop like just going out there and getting like trying to go for as many spots as you can at one time." Carson even said later, he was like, "Yeah, there were, he's like, I just need to change my mentality." He talks about how, he has to shift that gear once he gets up to the front because when he's further in back, it's a lot easier for him to take 8 spots in one move because he's further out back. There's it's easier to get around some of those guys. But then when you get up front, you have to be more calculated and take more calculated risks and really pick your battles of when you're going to make that move. And he owned that in his post-race interview. He said he needs there were a couple moves he made where he was trying to go for 2 spots instead of, in a position where maybe a more seasoned, more level-headed driver would have probably only tried to go for 1 and then kind of like knocked him off. Like Carl said, he could have been up towards the front more if he had taken a more measured approach. I think unfortunately he is at that point where it's you learn and you fix it and you get better and like quickly, or we continue to have this conversation every weekend when he does make a mistake that might have been excusable in another driver, but because he's who he is in terms of his talent level and his like how forward he is on social media, because I really don't think it's I don't think it's true to say that like, oh, he has a personality and these other drivers don't. I think he's just like, he's Gen Z. He is Gen Z, right? I think he's just a Gen Z kid who's on social media and is using social media. So he's like he's kind of in people's faces.
Yeah.
Like he's put himself into people's face. Like that comes with added scrutiny. So he's in that position. So I think people are like more, I think some people probably feel like he's being shoved down their throats too. They probably feel like he's just getting put in their face constantly. They feel like they're being told to like him or being told that he's the face of NASCAR. He's the savior of NASCAR. Like, I mean, they had him at the Met Gala for Christ's sake. Like in some ways, like he is being pushed forward and what he does with that on track is really up to him. Like, are you going to like rise to this occasion and take a moment and not just like, I don't even want to say react on instinct because like he needs to change his instinct basically. Is kind of what has to happen there. But at the end of the day, like I really do think he is going to continue to be in victory lane. I think he'll unlock that. I think he'll get there again. I just don't know. Again, I just don't know that like, I don't know. I do think the conversation with Bubba landed. Whether we'll see the fruits of that right away, who knows? Maybe it takes a few more. But like to Carl's point, like you can't go out there and like shove him around or whatever because he's not going to take it. He's just going to make that another reason why he doesn't have to listen. But to approach it like Bubba did, like, very man to man, but also very like, veteran to like young kid situation. Like I think he approached it well and I think it was taken well.
I feel like he gets the bad rap that he has is just because he has a track record of malfeasance.
Yeah.
Like to your point, this instance, it could be truthfully, this specific part causing the big wreck that took out half the field could have been like a racing incident. Him trying to make that pass on Bubba though, however, no, no. But it's just interesting how, and I guess that's another great reason why I love the sport, because you have people have their drivers, people have their teams, and like logic be damned, people will go through heaven and earth to prove their driver's point or prove their driver's this or that. Because I know a lot of times I can come on here and I can be just a complete basket case, like speaking, I guess, positively for Bubba, negatively against him, or having vitriol for Michael McDowell. So it's just interesting how the drivers' personalities themselves, how you attach onto those, and then you have your thoughts and opinions and feelings off of that. Um, Carl, Art, do you have a rebuttal to Jared, the resident host of our appreciator?
Well, I'm gonna go since I hadn't gone yet. First of all, I appreciate everyone's opinions here. And maybe it's just me. I've kind of am on the opposite side of the fence. I really wish Bubba hadn't said shit to him. I wish Bubba just went and just dumped his ass next week. Honestly, I really do, because here's the thing. One, Bubba's a better man than me, because you are my competitors. If you want to go out there and wreck and burn your shit up every weekend, who am I to stop? Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. You know, like I'm all in favor of that, first of all. So I wouldn't have helped him. Second of all, I do hate to Carl's point. Like, of course, the worst people in the world are like, oh, well, why is Bubba saying this? Blah, blah, blah. Like, Bubba could literally be like, hey, the sky is blue. And they'd be like, oh, well, that's not true. Why is he telling us this? Like, it doesn't, it's literally just the messenger, even though the messenger is exactly spot on.
Yeah. Sadly, I wasn't here for the post Kyle episode, but not even 24 hours after that had happened, people were on his ass for, complaining about how bad the month of May was. Yeah, and grieving. Yeah. Like I said, so that's why, when I saw yesterday that they'd interviewed him and they had captured that moment, I was like, God damn it, not again, man. I just, So, anyway.
So there's that part of it. If some other driver, if Tyler Reddick wants to go over there or Larson, whoever, that's fine, because, they're not going to have a bunch of idiots up there, banging on their door about them saying that. So there's that part.
Right.
The other part, too, about Carson is that, in a nutshell, you could make an argument. I would be willing to hear an argument that, it doesn't deserve the vitriol. But when your reputation precedes you at the level that Carson's does, I will never give you the benefit of the doubt. I cannot look aside the fact that you have made a pattern throughout your career to this point of just doing dumb shit. And it always ends up costing people. And unfortunately, most of the time he gets out of it unscathed, which is the reason why he hasn't changed much yet. And because no one's grabbed, you talk about Dale Sr. Dale would have grabbed his ass by the collar in the garage and told him, you need to cut that shit out. I guarantee you that would have happened. Huh?
Where did he finish in the 600?
He
got a top 10, didn't
he? Yeah, he got a top 10,
yeah.
But so there's that part too. Are we all forgetting that this is the man who, on multiple occasions, self-spun himself to get a caution? This is the same guy who decided, oh, you know what, Corey Heim, fuck your championship. If I can't get this shit, you ain't getting it either. This dude a dirty racer. So I don't give him the benefit of the doubt at all. I get, to Jared's point, people that are fans of I like him as a personality. I love the fact that he goes out there and streams. I love that he does the off the field stuff, off track stuff. I think that's great. I think we need drivers that are willing to put themselves out there and willing to do stuff like that. I love the Talladega celebration, all of that stuff. I have no problem with his personality. My problem is when you continue to do these brain dead moves that are destroying 8, 10, 12 cars at a time, and he'll get the fuck wrecked out of them because you chose not to use your brain there. And it makes it harder because he is not a brick on the accelerator. He is so talented. This is basically what Bubba was saying. You're so talented, but you have to get your shit together. And they had a better car than Bubba all day, and they finished worse than him because he couldn't, keep his head in it. So nah, man, I'm out. I'm spot off on any grace given to this guy. This guy has probably cost $10 million worth of damage in Cup teams this year, and it's June, right? There's going to be a line item for a lot of teams this year that are going to be in the red, and it's going to be directly associated to Hocevar. Tyler got the fuck wrecked out of him. Austin Dillon wrecked. That's 6 figures of damage right there. Never mind that you got, banged around in this car. I want him to do well neutrally. Like I said, I think him doing well helps the sport. But it's not for me. I'll put it that way. Like, and that's not a hate. You know, like I said, you know, I know Jared likes him, Malin likes him. You know, he's got tons of fans, and it's not a knock. And like, I'm not sitting there saying like, oh, I'm better than anyone who likes him. Like, it's not that at all. But like, not my tempo. You know, like I don't care that you win this if you drive like that. Like, it's just a lack of respect. You can be aggressive, like, and that's the part that all of these smooth brains forget is that yes, Dale was very aggressive, and yes, Dale reffed people up, but Dale did not have this reputation of just destroying a quarter of the field every Sunday. And I just hate the fact that I've talked about this on before, that so many people only think about Dale through fucking YouTube clips and compilations, and they see, you know, 10 incidents over a 20-year career. But like, yes, he would move you and he would ruffle you, but he was not out there wrecking people like this. So I just hate that comparison so much because it's just not apt at all. Dale would drive circles around Carson Hocevar every single day of the week and 3 times on Sunday. Like, get out of here with that. So yeah, I don't like that part. Like I said, if I was Bubba, I told him, all right, I'll see you next week. That's I would have left it at that.
We unfortunately, to your point, we exist in the, I don't know what generation we're on now. Z, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're on this way. We live in this Gen Z era of non-contextual, like, aura farming or whatever. And like, what I mean by that is, like, I don't think a lot of these people like really watch as much as they say they do, and that's to any sport for that matter. But like, they'll watch like a 90-second reel or like video on TikTok where like it's like compare. It's the content is comparing Carson Hocevar to Dale Earnhardt or whatever, and like that's like their whole worldview or whatever. Like that's like what I see a lot of, and so like with that in mind, like it really is frustrating talking to some of these people. But like, let me make it clear, like it just to me has just seemed like. And I think I said this before, maybe about Carson. I know I said it about Ross Chastain a few years ago. Is just that I understand like the attitude you have to have when you don't come out of the system, you know, the pipeline system, like, you know, like how Gibbs has like that one old boy that they signed at like 15 that's got like that curly hair and like, you know, tries to have like this badass attitude. And it's like, buddy, you can't even like vote, you know what I mean? Or maybe you can, I don't know. But so I understand like from a perspective of like, you know, of Carson having like this attitude and this style of like I have to do what's best for me. But it's like, brother, you've made it. You've signed a long-term deal with a team that is essentially like, I mean, essentially like a continuation of Hendrick Motorsports. It is one of the best sports management and sports marketing groups like in the world, right? Like, I mean, like the money's there, the teams are the equipment there, the people are there, the personnel there, the team's only getting better. Because like I remember I saw a tweet like last week where people were like talking about how people got mad about Spire getting charters like all the way back in, I don't know, 2019, I think, or whatever. And they were essentially just back then like old premium racing, like Jay Robinson cars, like just junk. And it's like, what are we doing here? And like now they're essentially the second best Chevy team. So I say all that to say this: Carson's done what he's had to do to get to this point, and I can give him that much. Am I a fan of it? No. I got sick of him like after like the second time in trucks he wrecked somebody to win. Like Texas, I kind of let slide, and then from then on, I was like, I don't know about this guy. But it's like, okay, you've made it. You can calm down a little bit now. You know what I mean? Like I would like give you that, and like hopefully. Admittedly, I did not know about his reaction afterwards. I didn't see it. I didn't watch it. I didn't go looking for it. So hopefully this does sit with him and he's like, okay, you know, maybe if, you know, maybe he understands Bubba's position too, because Bubba, like him, is having to fight for everything because, like, I mean, up until this year for Carson, there was no guarantees on anything. Like everything was in the air. We all thought and felt and knew that he was going to be around for a while, but who was to say, right? So I just want to calm down. I really want to calm down. Like I said, you know, the fan aspect's a different conversation, like I said. So, and I think hopefully that if he was embarrassed by yesterday, if that was his takeaway from it, then maybe he'll look at it and go, you know what? Maybe waiting a few seconds before I make a move is not going to be detrimental to my career or me or anything like that. Yeah, that's my rebuttal to. I didn't know what Jared said. I didn't know about the second part of the interview, things like that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, so
Now
I
listen,
hope. Yeah.
listen. Now in 3 weeks, when he does it again, y'all gonna have to hear about it on this show.
Yeah,
'Cause
I mean,
y'all gonna get the business from me when he do it
I mean,
again.
I'm not. Look.
I'm just saying. Listen,
I'm
y'all
not
put a lot of hope.
I'm not cashing in any chips or anything like that. It's like I said yesterday. Like, I'm not selling my legacy stock. I'm not selling my Carson Bull and China Shop stock either.
Listen,
So
Jared, don't call out sick.
Well, did I not say
When that week comes, don't call out sick because y'all gonna
did
get
I
this
not
business.
You said 3 weeks. Did I not say that we would not see this immediately, but maybe down the road?
Yeah, because I think it's inevitable. He's probably gonna run over somebody at Coronado.
He's gonna have more incidents before it really sinks in.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Ross
Chastain,
Chastain, and I think Art said that earlier in the season. Carson's gonna be run across Ross Chastain, and we have one of them days where it's gonna be a justifiable crash out, and then that might be the end. It's similar to how Rick Hendrick made the boss call on Ross,
or like Keselowski, somebody who just got nothing to lose. And it's like, all right, we both gonna die today, and just like we're taking us both out. Yeah, remember that one race like 2 years ago, where Brad Keselowski got into it with like Austin Dillon or something, and he like dumped the hell out of him under caution or something. Do you remember that?
Yeah. New Hampshire,
Okay, that was Hampshire. Just like out of nowhere, you know. Yeah, somebody. All I'm saying is, look, you keep. I don't know who it was. I want to say it was Corey LaJoy, who was very good again on Prime. Like I really like giving Corey his flowers because he's very good at this part of his job. Like he's very good at this part. Good. But he made it. He said it best. Like, you keep taking deposits out of this account, buddy, it's gonna run dry. And
has anybody run up on him on pit road yet? Like, has he been in a little scuffle yet? Like,
Bubba's the only one that stepped to him, I think 3 times this year. At this point, he's the only one that confronts him.
But has he confronted him like violently? Like,
not yet.
Okay.
Well, I think this is, I tried the on track version. I tried the nice version. Okay, I've got nothing else left but the mean version.
It might be Bubba who dumps him.
I'm gonna sit your ass down on the bench. God, you gonna talk to me.
I hope it's not Bubba.
I hope it is.
I don't want it to be Bubba.
I do. But I do, because you know what? Like I said the other week, the people that hate Bubba already, they're not going to suddenly change their tune. Yeah. You ain't going to lose nobody off the boat because he dumped Hocevar, okay? Exactly. We all riding the same, regardless.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's valid. But no, I do think it's surprising, like, knowing what he's done, like, I mean, shit, you look at what he did in truck. Like, he was an absolute menace. Like, I think that's when a lot of us clocked him. But, like, and then, what he's just done in Cup, like, I am surprised nobody's run up on him on pit road. Like, I am surprised he has missed.
He gets the same thing as Austin Hill. It's just the fact that he got a big height weight advantage over a lot of these guys.
I mean, yeah, he does.
There's the reason why nobody puts hands on Austin Hill, because he's like 300 pounds.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you think Christopher Bell is going to run up on Carson Hocevar? No. He's losing like 2 feet to that guy.
That's fair.
Like, that's not gonna happen. Like, that's the thing. Yeah,
like he's not. He's tall, but he's not a big dude. Carson does not look like he can fight. That's all I'm saying. Like,
let me find out.
Leave it at that.
I'll go find out firsthand. I'm gonna catch him in a Chili's bathroom somewhere. He gonna get ain't what he want.
The Chili's part of his schedule's over. You got to find him at a Ziegler car dealership.
Yeah, he's done with the Chili's car's over first.
Anywhere Dente, dog. Dare I put this up to debate, but let's have at it. Lights too bright.
I got one that nobody would even see coming.
Who's your lights too bright, Carl?
It's not even a NASCAR. That's the crazy thing about it.
I know it's not. Is it Charles?
It's not Shaw. It should be. It's George Russell.
Oh, brother, yes.
What a stinker, bro. I couldn't believe what I was watching. And then to top it all off, man, and I admittedly, bro, like, like F1 fans talk about British bias all the time, and I gladly participate in British bias, like in root for British drivers. I ain't gonna lie to you, but and like I've been in George's corner for a while, but dog, yesterday I was just like, boy, get this motherfucker a towel and a warm bottle, bro. And then after they restarted, and like he stacked up the field, hoping that there'd be another safety car, knowing damn well that wasn't about to happen. I mean, I was just like, good Lord, man. I was just like, but my biggest thing is this, dude, like, George is gonna have to resort to like some like Wile E. Coyote, like Acme product level ass measures to like not lose his championship to Kimmy. I mean, like, he's gonna have to get him like a stick of dynamite shape of a cigar. He's gonna have to paint the track on the side of a mountain, like put a hilariously large rocket on, like, I mean, something. Yeah, my Lights Too Bright goes to George Russell this weekend. It almost went to Shaw, and then it almost went to not Cadillac. Who? No, not Max. That wasn't really his fault.
Isaac.
No, it wasn't Isaac. It was it Pierre Gasly?
What Gasly?
Yeah, it was Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre Gasly. That managed to give himself a penalty while trying to serve a penalty.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
You big dummy.
Penalties this weekend.
Oh my God! What a joyous Monaco Grand Prix it was to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, George Russell, you get this week's Lights Too Bright, man, because it's like my homeboy said. You know, it's like we started this year and he won Australia, and everybody was like, okay, this is obviously Mercedes is great. He's good. Like, this is obviously George's year. And then Kimmy like, I just figured it out. And he was like, actually, no, it's not. You know, so
run your seat, partner.
Yeah, boy. So
Hamilton like saw, like, people always say that Hamilton like saw the writing on the wall, and that's why he left Mercedes. And then here comes literal teenager who was supposed to just be like a seat warmer in support, and he's just running away with it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Who's your Lights Too Bright, Jer?
This is one that like truly it just it just pissed me off when I saw it, and then like continues to annoy me today when I was watching the highlights back. It is not one that I think many people probably even noticed because it truly does not matter. But I think it was Ty Gibbs got into Priest when he was leaving, like, and then had the nerve to complain about it as if like
shit out of him.
supposed to like stop and let him through. Like, bro, the incoming car has the right of way. You need to wait. Like, he was yelling about like it's one lane. Like, you're on.
Well, I think.
Are you aware that you're on pit lane at
He
NASCAR?
wrecked the fuck out of him.
I think he was, I listen, I like Ty. I think he was pissed that they were telling him like the first lane was clear, like to go to the first lane, and it was clearly not clear.
He was like, it's like, one lane. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's what I think he was. That's good. Like, at least on the broadcast, what I heard when they were showing, that's what I think it was. It's like,
okay,
if I'm pulling out, you say one lane, that means I get into the first lane immediately. Like, that's clear to go. And then it's like, if it's 2 lane, like you go up to the wall, like the outside lane. That's my interpretation. I think he was more pissed that they cleared him into Priest than he was pissed at Priest.
I'm still gonna make it.
That's fine. No, you can still make the Lights Too Bright, but it might be the crew chief's Lights Too Bright for clearing him into that.
That's fair. But that was a moment where I was just like, what the hell is going on? Like, what are you doing? Fair. But okay, Art, that's valid if that was not quite on him.
Yeah.
I
had mine, and then after I said that, I lost it. Jared, do you have one? Go and come back to me because I had it.
So my Lights Too Bright. I'm gonna stay in the F1 realm as well. It's got to be the stewards. Like, what do you mean half the field gets speeding penalties by like 1 kilometer?
Something had to happen there.
Something like instead of y'all like just letting it slide, thinking it's like a software glitch or something, you just give everybody penalties. That's dumb.
Right. Something wasn't calibrated there, obviously.
Right.
Like that was a little weird.
Yeah, it was nutty.
Yeah.
Lights Too Bright. Y'all gotta get your shit together. Wrong with y'all. Hey, that was a good Monaco race. That race was
agree.
Good. It was very good.
That was a good race.
I agree.
Shout out to the small car.
Yeah.
All right. Are you gonna bring it back to NASCAR for us?
I want to so badly, but I forgot who it was. and I'm so mad. I blame Jared because I'm up here defending fucking Ty Gibbs, and I forgot who I was talking about. Who I was going to talk about. I mean, and it wasn't even host of our. I wasn't even going to take the layup. Fuck. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I had someone. I lost it. I forgot. I remember now. This is a very bittersweet Lights Too Bright, but I have to give it to young Mr. Zillich for
Oh yeah.
racing for about 17 seconds, bro. I listen. You my boy. You know, I'm listen. They're about 5 drivers I'm ride or die for in the Cup Series, and he one of them. Like that's my guy. But like, you spin twice in 9 laps, fam. Like
nobody else was involved.
Yeah, like you by yourself, man. And like it's not even. It is his fault, but like this car is. We saw a lot of those spin outs, especially when this car first started, and we see a lot of these types of spin outs from young drivers in this car because it's so hard for them to catch it when it's loose and wrecking loose. So like I'm not surprised that he wrecked in that fashion just because he doesn't have that much seat time yet. And yes, if he could have more practice, I'm sure that's less likely to happen. So like it's not like a hard Lights Too Bright where it's like you fucking suck, but it's like a buddy, we got to take an L on this one, Lights Too Bright, because that was rough. And especially like I think his last 3 finishes were like 39th, 36th, and 37th.
Man,
like, it's a brutal stretch right now.
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Brick House ain't just a song; it's what's coming out of Trackhouse's cars. But I mean, Trackhouse's shop. But also, it's so funny how fickle NASCAR fans are because, like, end of year last year, everybody's on the Zillich train, and like now all of a sudden he sucks. And I'm like, well, the numbers say something different, and it's like it's not like SVG and Ross Chastain are exactly lighting the world on fire, man. So, like, I really wouldn't write this guy off. I mean, you know.
No.
You know,
I think, listen, when he gets that 48 next year, he's going to be just fine. He's going to be just fine.
I wish.
I stand by that take. Look,
Dog Red Bull, in on the 48 with this be.
Just be patient, brother.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, with that, the end. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell your mammies, tell your Grammys. Buy some merch. VOV shop. Fourth wall. Get some t-shirts so we can send us to the track and watch some races in person. We got to use that mic. We bought that really expensive microphone to interview people. We ain't used it yet. It's bad business. Where they go next week? The Tricky Triangle. It's getting tricky. Bubba's gonna have Shady Rays on the car. Interesting.
Oh, no, I was cool to see it, man.
Looks. As much trash as I talk about Tyler Reddick, hopefully he can last through stage 2 and then wreck so he can get some points. And hopefully Christopher Bell is okay. Oh, I guess we can close the show on this note. Because we didn't talk about it. Denny said that Brent Cruz
next week, bro.
Denny said Brent Cruz coming to the 11 and 28. I think Brent Cruz about to get some free seat time this weekend for Pocono, for Christopher Bell, because I don't know if y'all saw that hit, but I don't want to see the G meter on the impact he had when he hit that wall, because I think I tweeted.
We've had a lot of like injuries in motorsport the last few weeks.
If that was the 2022 version of the next gen car,
oh, buddy,
I'm gonna just leave it there. He knocked.
I mean, did you see the thing was too, like someone posted like a clip or a video or a picture, I can't remember which, of him. His like whole forearm in a cast.
Yeah. His shit's fucked.
He ain't racing this weekend. I find that hard to believe.
He should have raced this weekend. He should take him in.
You know who's one spot behind him in the points? Bubba Wallace.
Hey,
Bubba Wallace. Or, he can't do that because he has to make a parade lap. I was like, he can pull a Connor Zillage and just start the race so he can earn the points and then just come park it and then just keep the hope alive. But Brent Cruz, get ready to learn next gen cup racing. We'll see you Saturday in practice.
There you go.
Yeah, other than that, we out. Baby out. I put myself out. Who am I kidding? I'm editing this. Bye, y'all.